Alright, welcome back. The ground is froze, but not for long. At least that's what the weather forecast is saying, but everybody knows that I don't trust the weatherman. Been lied to way too many times. So, as long as this one doesn't go full stupid on me, Ryan, I'm out at Ryan's, locked his cows in from the pasture, and he told me, I'm currently by myself at the moment, that as he was leaving earlier, he's like, well, I thought I had all of them in, but he's like, went to go leave and there's a cow down on the other hillside. All right, I'll look into it. And this is a camera video, or a cell phone video, guys. Left my trusty dusty GoPro. She's gonna be an idiot. Good for you. I left my trusty dusty GoPro back to home farm. Yeah, I know. Should probably put a different set of gates in here. But the problem is, other than I want her in here, I want to keep these guys out here for the time being. So I want to get this shut up so, you know, the tame ones, these ones that are so eager to walk up to you right away when you're working on stuff, are the ones you have to watch out for, because they're the ones that you already know that they aren't an issue. Like, they're not going to cause problems. They're not going to, you know, railroad you and pound you into the dirt. At least at this point. When they got brand new newborn calves, you don't trust anybody. So she probably isn't going to fall for it, but I'm just going to roll with it. So the ground is kind of thawing out a little bit. It is like in the teens right now, which really, it's obviously below freezing, but that ball of fire up in the sky, wherever it's at for you guys, is doing a really good job at thawing out some of this frozen dirt. So what I'm gonna do is, because I got the skid steer running up there, I just knocked down all these red panels. Yes, lack of preparation on my part. Should have had them picked up a while ago. But I'm going through and I'm dropping these over, laying them on the ground. I got the Bobcat and pallet tines. I'm going to go through and pick up all these gates and get them in where they're inside, they're in shelter. They're not going to get froze to the ground. Those first two big red gates already were, but I actually was able to get them loose. So once again, we need to do some stuff around here, some fence work. Really didn't get a chance to do it because A, we are not going to come out and do this stuff in the mud and the rain, and that's exactly what we had for the fair share of the summer. B, harvest ran so late that even when the weather was kind of halfway decent, we have about 30 different things that we're trying to work on. So that's just the hand that we were dealt. Some of these guys are getting a little curious. He actually did a pretty good job getting the majority of them in. When you're working with cattle, the best thing you can do is to use their own thought process against themselves, because Ryan had them pretty well used to coming in and eating feed, but to get to the hay feeders are on the other side of the hill. I don't know if you guys can see them, but you get the hay and everything set back far enough that once the cows start coming in, then the cows eventually start bringing their calves in. I mean, ideally, that's what I'm wishing that cow would do with her calf. Calf's sucking on her right now. But things don't always work out the way you plan, which I think should pretty much be the motto for farming. Plan all you want. Usually after about an hour of trying to carry out the said plan that you thought you had figured out, things usually go south anyway. So I've actually been wanting to do this for a while now, but between taking the time to come out and do it, which is the biggest issue, and then having the skid steers out here to do it because I'm by myself. It's one thing if we had two of us, we could have carried them up to the shed, but I myself actually kind of value my knees and my back. I'm going to use the Bobcat and pick them up and get them up to the shed in where they won't freeze to the ground, and we can use them here in maybe about a month, because we are behind, I'd say, by about 2 months on, honestly, it seems about everything. I mean, harvest, that was 3 or 4 weeks later than I would have liked to been harvesting. I actually would have preferred to been done, let's say middle of November. I mean, at least that way, we had some days there we could have gotten a lot more tillage done than what we did. But that just wasn't the case. So I'm going to try to remember my GoPro next time, but let's see if I can't get some action shots with picking this stuff up. I'm hoping that if I ignore her, I mean, that's really how it goes. I'm hoping that if I actually ignore that cow, she may come in on her own. So that's kind of what I'm working on. What I want to do is we actually have 2 groups of cows that we have to get the calves weaned out on. Yes, we were late. I actually would have rather had them weaned off in September. The cows calved later than they were really supposed to. I mean, the bull, even though he was in with them, for some reason he waited about a good month and a half before he really started to go to work. Hence the new bulls. But we got to get the calves weaned off of Ryan's cows. And once we get those weaned off, and to wean them off, I mean, we got to get everybody up into the upper shed, so that way we can sort them out, get the cows, which the cows will actually sort themselves out when you open the gate up, which is kind of nice, because the calves are too flighty, skittish to really deal with you. They are Ryan's calves, and he's been dealing with them and handling them, so I mean, I'm not really too worried. I mean, they're used to being around people to a certain degree, but we'll wean the calves off up into there. He's got more calves. I think he's got like 10, 15 more than my dad right now, I think. I mean, I guess I never really asked him how many calves he's actually got. He's the one that would know that, not me, but it's irrelevant right now. The plan is to get the calves weaned off, put them in there for probably 2 weeks-ish, give or take, long enough that the cows quit bawling for him. Then we're going to move his calves down to the steer lot. Ryan's cows are going to come back up here into this lot, that lot. But then we have all of my dad's cows and calves down at my place. So I got to go to the trouble of weaning the calves off down there, which it's been done in the past. This is just the first year I've actually had dad's cows and calves have to wean them down at my place because of Ryan's cows out here. So once I get the calves down at my place weaned off, kind of a tongue twister, the plan is to put the rest of dad's calves, or all of dad's calves, in the pole shed up here, and they'll be overwintered up there. Ryan's feeder calves will be overwintered down there, and then Ryan's cows will have access to these 2 lots here. And then if it actually gets cold and stays cold, we can actually let them out into the pasture again. I mean, gives them a little bit more room than just stuck in a little lot here. But the last couple winters, you get snow and cold, and then it freezes, and then you get a mud pit, and it's just, I don't know, nothing is actually technically normal around here lately. So I'm going to get back to work. Well, as the action shot shows, I'm going through picking these gates up pretty easily, to be honest. I didn't use the JCB because I'm out here by myself, The ground is frozen solid, and in my experience running tracks or tires, I've come to the realization or the conclusion that I prefer tires over tracks when it comes to working in the frozen tundra of southwest Wisconsin. So I exaggerate for a fact, but the Bobcat does get around a little bit easier, especially for the places I was going tonight. I was going in and out of gates, opening and shutting gates with the skid steer, which you can do just fine with JCB. But that cow lot that you guys just saw me looking across was a little Grand Canyon, or a mini Grand Canyon, with all the frozen dirt and everything. And I don't know, people just seem to get upset when I don't use the JCB when I don't necessarily need to. So I can pretty much operate any equipment I want around here, which I'm very comfortable with the Bobcat. I do like the hand controls on the JCB. I think that they're a little bit slow to react, or slow to respond to your hand movements. I can do a really good job with using the foot, feet, and the hand controls in the Bobcat. And a little bit of experience, I could do the hand controls of the JCB just fine also. But these gates really did need to be cleaned up. They're calling for some 40-degree weather again, so we're actually going to be in mud. So if I would have made this video like another, I don't know, 24 hours later, I probably would have preferred the tracks. But it seems like the tires were doing just what I wanted them to. So yeah, we are behind on cattle. People are asking for cattle pictures or cattle videos, and a lot of it is we're that far behind. We're just trying to get caught back up and everything. We gotta get our calves weaned off and run through the chute, vaccinated and castrated and built up on grain. So we'll usually try to sell them about late spring, early summer. I mean, June at usually the latest. Like to have them gone like late April, sometime in May. But things do not always, shall I say, plan out the way you prefer. So it is what it is. I'm just kind of doing everything that we need to do as we are able to do it. And believe it or not, the frozen ground is actually helping us out, as opposed to it being a little bit warmer and a lot more muddier. So tillage is on a standstill, and at this point probably not going to happen. And this is the end of my cell phone. Boom. I got a new one coming on the insurance claim. So I've gone the last 3 days without a phone, which has been kind of nice. So until next time, take care, take it easy, keep in touch. I'll talk to you later.